new explosive report proves Obama's FBI broke protocol by spying on Trump, by Erin Moreno for TruthFeedNews.com. A new bombshell report from the Hill's investigative journalist John Solomon details the extensive lengths Obama's FBI went to in spying on Trump in his 2016 campaign. According to the report, Obama's FBI had foreign figures contact Trump campaign officials in Great Britain before an official investigation was even declared, which is highly against protocol. From the Hill, the bridge to the Russia investigation wasn't erected in Moscow during the summer of the 2016 election. It originated earlier, 1,700 miles away in London, where foreign figures contacted Trump campaign advisors and provided the FBI with hearsay allegations of Trump-Russia collusion. Bureau documents and interviews of government insiders reveal these contacts in the spring 2016, some from trusted intelligence sources, others from Hillary Clinton supporters, occurred well before FBI headquarters authorized an official counterintelligence investigation on July 31st, 2016. The new timeline makes one wonder, did the FBI follow its rules governing informants? Here's what a congressman and an intelligence expert think. The revelation of purposeful contact initiated by alleged confidential human sources prior to any FBI investigation is troublesome. Representative Mark Meadows, an ally of President Trump and chairman of the House subcommittee that's taking an increasingly aggressive oversight role in the scandal, told me, this new information begs the questions. Who were the informants working for? Who were they reporting to? And why has the Department of Justice and FBI gone to such great lengths to hide these contacts? Kevin Brock agrees that Congress has legitimate questions. The retired FBI Assistant Director for Intelligence supervised the rewriting of Bureau rules governing sources under then-Director Robert Mueller a decade ago. Those rules forbid the FBI from directing a human source to target an American until a formally predicated investigative file is opened. Brock sees oddities in how the Russia case began. These types of investigations aren't normally run by assistant directors and deputy directors at headquarters, he told me. All that happens normally in a field office, but that isn't the case here, and so it becomes a red flag. Congress would have legitimate oversight interest in the conditions and timing of the targeting of a confidential human source against a U.S. person. Other congressional and law enforcement sources express similar concerns, heightened by FBI communications suggesting political pressures around the time the probe officially opened. We're not going to withstand the pressure soon, FBI lawyer Lisa Page texted fellow agent Peter Strzok on August 3rd, 2016, days after Strzok opened the official probe and returned from a trip to London. At the time, they were dealing with simultaneous challenges, the wrap-up of Hillary Clinton email scandal and the start of the Russia-Trump probe. Over several days, they exchanged texts that appeared to express fears of political meddling or leaking by the Obama White House, the Department of Justice, and the CIA. This is much more tasty for one of those DOJ blank holes to leak, Strzok wrote at the two FBI colleagues. Then, having an affair, the Bureau later told Congress, debated how long they could delay a CIA-FBI meeting so as to not play into the agency's BS game. They voiced alarm when FBI colleague Liz suggested the Obama White House was about to hijack the investigation. Went well, best we could have expected, Strzok texted Page after an August 5th, 2016 meeting. Other than Liz, quote, The White House is running this. Page then texted to assure Strzok of a paper trail showing the FBI in charge. We got emails that say otherwise. The next day, they went into further detail about their White House concerns, so maybe not the best national security president, but a genuinely good and decent human being. Page texted Strzok, referencing former President Obama. Strzok replied, "Yeah, I like him, just not a fan of the weakness globally." Wow, they even called him out on that. Was thinking about what the administration will be willing to do, reference Russia. In the end, the FBI secretly investigated the Trump campaign for months, engaging with other agencies on a more limited inquiry of Russian efforts to hack Clinton's campaign. Summer 2016 text messages are bookends to a series of London contacts that predate the official opening of the investigation and produced the evidence the FBI used that fall to justify its court-ordered surveillance of presidential campaign figures. According to documents and government interviews, one of the FBI's most senior counterintelligence agents visited London the first week of May 2016. Congress never got the FBI to explain that trip, but soon after it, one of the most consequential moments of the scandal occurred. On May 10th, Australian diplomat Alexander Downer met in a London bar with Trump advisor George Papadopoulos, who boasted of knowing that Russia would release dirt on Clinton. That contact was not immediately reported to U.S. intelligence. Yeah, okay. By early June, a second overture to a Trump campaign advisor occurred in London in a Dear Carter email. A Cambridge University graduate student invited Trump campaign advisor Carter Page to attend a popular July security conference in London. That was Halper. Carter Page declined to tell me the student's identity. Oh, it wasn't? Oh, yeah. But confirmed the student studied under Stefan Halper, a Cambridge University professor, who helped organize the conference and has been identified in media reports as a confidential FBI source. Carter Page said conference organizers paid his airfare and provided him dorm lodging, and Halper spent time with him during the conference, then continued conversations with him for months. He says Halper asked to be introduced to high-ranking Trump campaign official Sam Clovis. Yeah, I remember Clovis is the one that Halper reached out to Clovis. Yeah, I don't know who the student was that contacted Carter Page. On July 16, 2016, Carter Page relayed the overture to Clovis. Professor Stefan Halper spends part of the year in Virginia, and he contacted, wow, what a long article. In the ensuing months, Carter Page, Clovis, and Papadopoulos all became FBI focuses. Papadopoulos pleaded guilty to a misleading statement, and his knowledge of facts in the Russia case. Page became the subject of 4 surveillance warrants, and Clovis was interviewed by special counsel Robert Mueller. Neither has been accused of wrongdoing. The FBI received 2 more contacts about Trump-Russia allegations before formally opening its probe, both from people tied to Clinton. A week before Carter Page left for London, the FBI was contacted by former MI6 agent Christopher Steele, recently hired by the Fusion GPS firm to find dirt on Russia and Trump there. Okay, we all basically know this. On July 23rd, 2016, right here, the FBI did not act on Steele's July 5th, 2016 overture, but weeks later, Steele began working with agents. His now infamous dossier became a key document justifying the surveillance warrants against Carter Page. On July 23rd, 2016, shortly after WikiLeaks released the first hacked Clinton campaign emails, and the Australian government contacted the State Department's Deputy Chief of Mission in London about Downer's May 10th conversation with Papadopoulos. State forwarded the information to FBI headquarters. A decade earlier, an Australian foreign minister, Downer, arranged a $25 million grant to the Clinton Family Foundation to help fight AIDS. Yeah, it's going to fight AIDS all right. It's going to go right into Hillary's pocket. Yeah. Downer's information moved FBI headquarters into action. Strzok was dispatched to London. A formal investigation was opened by month's end. This timeline doesn't prove wrongdoing. These contacts could have occurred organically or been directed legally through intelligence channels. Yet congressional investigators and FBI insiders tell me they raised questions about when the investigation officially started and how. There is no doubt the FBI kept getting snowflakes in spring of 2016, pointing towards Russia and Trump, and the bridges to the case clearly were built in London. A U.S. official with direct knowledge of the investigation said, the question is whether those bridges, as the children's rhyme goes, come falling down when more facts surface. Listen, Carter Page was a plant. Don't listen to him. He's talking that, he didn't know anything. He was connected to the Bill Clinton, worked for them in the 90s and all of this stuff. They started spying on, they had implanted spies long before Trump was, even started the campaign when they said they started the investigation. No, this was a setup. That's why they're not releasing the dates of the information, That's why they're not releasing dates. Why do you think they're not releasing dates? Because this started way before it wasn't legally done, in other words. It started prior to, it was done behind the scenes by Obama, Brennan, and all of them, the dossier and all of that. Nah, it was a setup. That's why they're not releasing it, the paperwork, because when you see the dates and the text messages and everything, it would knock Mueller's case right out of the window. That's why they're not showing it. They want this to drag on. They figured Hillary didn't get in. At least it'll help the midterm elections, so we can drag it on. Meanwhile, they're milking the taxpayers for all that money. So what do you expect? They're not going to give up their meal ticket. And the cherry on top, make trouble for Trump and the conservatives. You see what I'm saying? So it works all around for them. That's why they're not releasing the documentation. The whole thing would have been blown out of the water had they released the documentation. And it was set up through England, with the UK. That's it. Bottom line, you don't have to dig so deep and everything. Give us the paperwork and I'll tell you in a couple hours what happened. You see what I'm saying? That's why they're blocking everything. And Gowdy, I never heard of a deep state. Remember that when he said, there's no spy? He also said a couple of weeks ago that, I never heard of a deep state. What? Like, you're actually speaking to people as if they're idiots. It's beyond me. Gowdy stepped in when Nunes was going to get to the bottom of it, and he stopped it. Grassley pretends as if he's looking for action to get to the bottom of it. He's actually stonewalling. Sessions is dirty from the get-go. He's blocking everything, and his Rosenstein, I've said it before, it could have been his kid maybe, he is infatuated with Rosenstein. He worships the ground Rosenstein walks on. Sessions loves Rosenstein, and it shows. So, they're just blocking the information. It was a setup. And Carter Page was a setup also. And they tricked Papadopoulos. And that's basically it. They tricked. Look, they don't have any care in the world about anybody. They just wanted their thing to go through the way they wanted. Now they're getting caught. Eventually, they're going to have to show the paperwork, and let's see what takes place. Because the other guy, who is it that the IG, and it doesn't have the authority to prosecute these people. Let's see what happens in the end. We'll keep you updated. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.